Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new video and a brand new episode of my MotoGP 18 Rider Career Mode, and we are here for, I believe, the 5th and 6th rounds of the calendar. Now, for this episode, we are going to be racing around the Red Bull Ring in Austria and also Misano. And then finally, in the last episode, we'll have the last race at Motorland Aragon. But for this one, we have the Red Bull Ring and Misano. If you guys did miss the last episode at Assen and the Saxon Ring, I do urge you to go check that one out to see how we got to this point. The card will be in the top right hand corner of your screen if you do want to click it, and that way get up to speed on the series before we get into the real depths of the series, especially now once we get into Moto3 very soon. But anyway, we're going to crack on now into the next race weekend for Austria. 4 laps of a race around here, 25% race, and the weather is going to be random. So if it is like Assen and you saw the last race, guys, then visibility is going to be an interesting one around the Red Bull Ring. But either way, I'm looking forward to it. Let's jump into qualifying at Austria and let's see how we line up on the grid. Here we go then, entering the garage, getting ready for qualifying once again for the 5th race and the 5th time this season. Overall, looking forward to it. Let's try and get some good laps on the board, and let's see if we can try and get ourselves at least on the front row of the grid. To be honest with you, there is pressure on now. It's about time we picked up a race win, and we do need it for the championship if we want to try and win the Red Bull Rookies Cup. So we're going to go to track, and let's see how far up the grid we can go in this qualifying session. At the end of my first attempt, a pretty good lap actually to open up my account, and following Chanonku around the circuit, we actually go fastest by 2/10. That's how good that lap was, and we did personal best in every single sector, and we made fastest in the final. So overall, a very good lap to open up my account here, and we go pole by 2/10. So that is really good to see, and early signs that we might have to pace around it, which is really good. But thanks to Chan, we just sort of followed him round, and that really gave me a nice little guide to try and improve. And so far, we're up again on this lap, so let's see if we can go one step further and try and improve by a little bit more. We managed to overtake Chanonku this lap, and we're on for a nice improvement here, 6/10 up in Sector 3. This is looking very good for us, as we're not actually on pole anymore. Yamanaka took pole, but we've smashed it out of the park again as we improved to a 38.6 and take first place, and that could be the one here. We look really bloody good. I want to try one more time, but I think that might be the best I've got. That was a very good lap even from my standards. 2/10 up in the first sector. It was obviously I did make that little wide line through turn 1 on my best attempt, so there was time to get in there. And that's the question of trying to hold that advantage throughout the rest of the lap. And I'm really leaning on the bike here. I'm about to fall off any second. Really exploring the limits of grip here, but we're close to Carrasco, who's in second, so it's normally a good sign. We're still a 10th up in Sector 2 here as we now enter Sector 3. Nearly 3/10 up in Sector 3. I've managed to hold on to my advantage. We're running it to the line, picking up a slipstream across the line. Do we improve? Yes, we do, by a 10th of a second, and I think that is going to be all she wrote for qualifying here at the Red Bull Ring. I'm very happy with that lap, and realistically, I'm pulling a slipstream here for Carrasco, so on the straights I'm getting a bit of a leverage, so I think that's probably the best I can do, so we're going to call it there, and I think that's qualifying done and dusted for us.
The qualifying session has just ended, and while the riders make their way back to their boxes, let's have a look at the final times that show us the front row for the start of tomorrow's Grand Prix. A few minutes to go, then today's race will begin. Right now, we're at the starting grid, waiting for the riders to receive the signal to start the warm-up lap.
And there it is. Let's get ready, guys. It's time for the Austrian Grand Prix. Pole position, we look nice and quick. Unlike Assen, no wet weather. So this is going to be very good for us. Dry conditions, nice and sunny. So it's optimal for us to try and attack the race and try and do the best job we can. So let's jump into it now for round number 5 for the Austrian Grand Prix. Here we go then. Let's see if we can try and improve on our starts. It's going to be interesting. 5 red lights. And we are away, keeping it nice and clean on the start there. And that wasn't too bad actually. One of our slightly better ones, to be fair. Braking late for turn 1 though. We've got to be careful. Outside line, risky stuff. A lot of bikes have got on my inside there, which isn't ideal, but we're going to tuck in here. Try and pick up a slipstream off the leaders, because on these bikes, any slipstream you can find is a good slipstream. So here we go, we're making our positions. I'm very good on the brakes, which is a good thing I've got going for me. So let's see if I can get it. Later braking late into turn 3, inside line, as I stumble over my words there. So far so good, we've held on to 4th place. We're about to make it 3rd as we get a great run on Yamanaka here. We're going to get alongside the rider and just breeze past on a straight line. And then we're going to get on the inside of Carrasco on the braking though into turn 4. Every brake, be careful, almost lose the bike there, got to be very careful. Power on, outside line, can we hold it? It's going to be close. have to go around the outside, which isn't a traditional passing motorcycle racing. Inside the next corner, not quite. Carrasco has me cornered off there, but he runs a little bit wide, which is going to sort of allow me to come back into it as I run a little bit wide myself. But Carrasco definitely being a bit racy, getting the elbows out early on here. I like it. So far on P3, Tate leads the way, which is not ideal because he's the man that we need to beat. We need to run the race to stop him from winning. That's the target. So let's see, on the brakes into the penultimate corner. Are we good enough on the brakes? Not quite, but we do have a good bit of momentum to carry through. Maybe out of the final corner here, possibly. Swing back underneath, nicely done. Tuck in nice and early, and there we go. Drag race side by side. Carrasco's going to get a slipstream from Tate, but it doesn't really matter as I just get in front of him there, and I can pull the slipstream for myself. Braking late for turn 1, looking very good so far. Very nice first corner here. We're going to get right on the back of Tate, I think, all the way up into turn 3. We're going to get a lovely slipstream, tucking in nice here, holding the triangle button. Nice momentum on Tate. We're going to get to the inside. Turn 2, now into turn 3. Braking late. Bring the bike down, almost fall off the bike there. I'll be very careful with that late braking, but we've got a good exit. Side by side with Carlos again. 99 versus 98. This is brilliant stuff, but we've powered past. Look at that, absolutely brilliant. And we're going to have the lead going into the brake zone of turn number 4. What are we like on the brakes? Are we okay to hold our lead? Yes, we are. Very nicely done there. And we're into first place in the Austrian Grand Prix. There we go. Fastest lap from us on that last lap. So we are setting the pace here at the Red Bull Ring, and we are walking away with it at the front of the pack, and we're going to need this win, so we need to try and carry this to the end of the Grand Prix with no issues, no falling, no crashing. Keep it nice and clean. Here we go then into the final sector on the final lap. We are absolutely unchallenged. We have controlled this race from start to finish. A bit of a shaky lap 1, but we recovered very nicely. We didn't lose our composure. We stayed calm, pulled through, made the moves when necessary, and it looks like we are going to come through now. The final corner to win the Austrian Grand Prix. And I do say to myself, a very, very professional performance and a controlled display. But we win our first race of the season, I believe, or not? No, sorry, a second one because we won at Mugello. So a second race of the season, and we bounce back in the best possible way. So overall, a very good result for us, and very, very happy with that. As our driver level also goes up to level 9. There, very, very good to see. And in terms of the final race results, you can see we dominate. We take the fast lap by almost a second, pretty much. That's how quick we was. So very controlled there, and a 1.4 clear of Mr. Carlos Tate, who is the man who we're trying to beat in the championship. He's leading the way right now, and as you can see in the standings, it's going to be a fight to the finish. You know, we've still got 2 more races to go, so I do need Tate and Onku as well to not really... They need to stop getting 2-3s. I need them to start getting 3 and 4s or 4 and 5s. I need Carrasco, Yamanaka, and Ko to try and get a couple of results and sort of upset the apple cart a little bit, but you know, we'll fight until the end. If we can at least get maybe second place, I mean, that's possible because Onku's right there, only 5 points ahead. So second place is definitely possible, but hopefully it works out for us. But here's our new driver rating and reputation after that race. As you can see, improving our skill traits to 45 on absolutely everything. But we're now going to move into the next race in Misano. It's qualifying time at Misano, another track that I absolutely love, and one that I have been very quick at, similar to Assen and Mugello, one that I just have a naturally quick pace at. Hopefully in this game, it carries over from MotoGP 17, but I'm looking forward to it. Let's jump into qualifying. Let's see how this goes. We're going to get a few laps under our belt, but I feel confident that we can do a good job here. Even if we do not have the pace, I feel confident that I'll be okay around here because of how comfortable I am around this track. But let's get on to it, and let's see how we qualify on the grid. So far, so good. Apparently, we're 2 turns up in the middle sector, even though it's an orange sector time. Apparently, I'm minus 2 tenths. So I'm obviously up on my time, in this case the leader, because obviously I have no personal best set, which is very good news. We'll find out now. Into the sector 3, we are half a second up apparently. Let's see if this is true when we go for the final sector now and cross the line. But we're following Dennis here. Good little reference point. Also picked up a nice little slipstream on that, the entirety of that back straight, which is good. So let's see if that leads us anywhere as we now go through the final corner, attacking the apex, open up the steering, and follow the slipstream to try and gain maximum straight line speed and across the line. And we just miss out. We take the fastest final sector, but we go P4. Not too bad of a banker. Let's try and improve on that now. The lap time progression is insane. We're down to P10 and Dennis in front of us is now down to P18. We're currently on for a personal best as Onku is fastest here, but we're going to go P10 again. We're going to stay where we were. So a second off the pace. We need to find a bit of time here. Okay, we're picking up the paces lap, 2/10 down on the middle sector, which is very much a personal best, and we're looking very good so far. Sector 3 is my best sector, because through here we just have so much more momentum than the AI, carrying a lot of speed into here, braking very late. I've lost my apex a bit through that one, but not too bad. We're still looking pretty good if I can brake late for here. 1/10 off, with one more sector to go. This is looking good so far. Power on, let's try and follow Dennis through here to get the ideal trajectory. Nice, attacking the apex there, beautifully done. And Dennis actually peels off, which is going to leave me freeway to attack the final corner. A little bit too much speed I lost there. I could have definitely attacked that a little bit more, let the car flow in a bit more. But either way, up to the line. Do we get it? No, we just miss out. We fall just short. A fastest final sector, but we're literally a fraction off 200. So I reckon I can pull that back on a good lap. I want to try one more time, but that was actually my best attempt. And I felt like I'm not going to get much more out of that. So let's try one more time. Oh, damn it. Try to push too hard. I think that's it. I think that's all she wrote. I don't think I'm going to improve on that. I was fastest in the first sector, but I was back down to my usual in sector 2 because I got it so perfect last time. I think we're not going to get this. I think we're going to have to call it there. I'm going to try one more time because I've just realised after 5 episodes I know how to turn off the traction now, and I've turned off traction control, so I want to try and see if I can improve without it. Right, we're not on for an improvement here, I don't think. We turn off the traction. Do we improve? We do actually do an incredible final sector, but we can't improve, unfortunately. Still a 10th shy. I think I'm going to call it there. I just can't seem to improve. So, yeah, I think we're going to settle for second.
The qualifying session has just ended, and while the riders make their way back to their boxes, let's have a look at the final times that show us the front row for the start of tomorrow's Grand Prix. It was a long weekend for the riders, but finally the showdown is here. We are speaking to you from the starting grid, with just a few minutes to go before the race begins.
You're damn right, the showdown does begin here because we have a wet track, guys. You know how I fare in the wet conditions. Let's hope it's not too bad and we can make it work. I have just turned off traction control as I just found it. So we're going to run the no traction control setting in this race, which is going to be very, very interesting. But I look forward to the challenge and hopefully you guys do too. But anyway, let's jump into it now for round number 6 for Misano. Right then, here we go. 5 red lights. Lights out and away we go in Misano, and it's a pretty average start to say the least. We're going to pull over to the inside to try and defend my position here. Braking late for the first corner, got to be careful through here. Keep ourselves in one piece. Turn 2, nicely done, power on early. Swing back through for turn 3. Patience, there we go. I noticed my traction control is working, so I'm guessing it's like a setting where it resets and it's back on. So I'll have to look into that in a second, but we've got car bikes on our inside here. We've got to be careful. We're going to squirt the throttle on early. Slide back underneath. Oof, a little bit of contact there. We've got Barry in front, but so far, so good. We lost a few places, but I don't mind. The main thing is that we've stayed on the bike. We can now work from here to make our way back up to where it was. That is weird though. I'm guessing traction just basically stays on full because I changed it for quality and it's reset itself. So I don't know what's going on there, but interesting to say the least. Either way, as we got a load of dogs barking outside in the street, we'll just gloss over that one. We're getting a massive slipstream on Barry Boltus here. We're going to get on the inside, a little bit of a corner cut there. We get out wide, risky stuff. Can we get the inside into this next corner? I fancy my chances, but to be fair, Barry's keeping it nice and tight. Or however, into this one, I think this might be the chance we get inside line. Barry's a little bit wide, a little bit of a love tap there, but we barge our way past, to be fair. But we've got a nice bit of momentum through there. Wet conditions definitely not as much grip as in the dry, as I'm a bit all over the place at the minute. But P5, now we've got Carrasco in front. I wonder where Tate is. Hopefully he's not bloody leading, because if he is, I'll be not impressed, as this guy just can't be stopped. But here we go, onto lap 2, and Onku leads the way as we go into the first corner here. Braking late. Carrasco, ooh, very, very close there. Almost had a bit of a crash, but luckily we stayed on the bike. Through turn 3 now. Let's try and see if we can get past Carrasco, squirting on that rear tyre. I need to make this move. We're very close to Carrasco here. Maybe a little cheeky move on the brakes into the hairpin. Oof, not quite. Carrasco is very deep though, to be fair to him. I'm going to get the cut back and get the momentum on the exit. A little bit of a love tap there, but we get past and we're now right behind Xavier. We're going to get to the inside. And there we go, 3rd place. Up next is the main man, Mr. Carlos Tate. Can we try and get past him here and recover that position and get back to where we started, and also put some distance between him and myself in the points this race? Into the final corner, very close indeed. I've got a nice bit of momentum as we wash out a little bit there. Back end really letting go, but we've got the momentum. Slipstream on Carlos. We're going to get to the inside. Brake late for the first corner. Can we get it? Pull it down. Yes, we do. Get it down for turn 2 on the curbing. Risky stuff, but we get it done. And we're in second place as we go on to lap number 3. Only Chan Onku stands in my way between another race win and a second place. Onto the back straight, picking up a slipstream on Chan Onku here for the race lead. Make sure we get these corners absolutely perfect. Oh, a little bit wide through there. That could have been very, very, very risky indeed, but we've got it okay. Slow it down a bit for this right-hander. On the power again. Late on the brakes into the right-hand hairpin. We're looking good now. With about 1 lap left to go. We're going to have a solid crack at trying to win this race as we gain momentum on Mr. Onku here. Through the penultimate corner. A little bit wide. I'm going to miss the corner a bit there, but into the final corner. I definitely can throw in here a bit more than what I have been doing. Pick up the traction. There we go. Very nicely done. And here we go on to the last lap of the Grand Prix. Can we take the lead of the race? This is it. Last lap stuff. We've straightened up the bike nice and early. We're picking up a slipstream on Chan Onku here, but it's going to go right down to the wire. We have to be perfect through this section. It just has to be perfect. There's no excuses. On the brakes, the back end just wants to go on the bike. Can we go for it here into the right hand hairpin? Very late on the brakes. Oh, the bike almost screaming at me there that it can't keep up anymore. We've got the outside though. On Onku, we're going to switch back underneath. A little bit of a love kiss, but we've made it work. We've just thrown the bike in there, and it's worked. We're going to block past the inside line for Onku there, but I've not got the best of exits out the final corner. Onku might race me to the line, but he's not going to do it. We're going to win the San Marino Grand Prix and make it 2 in a row and 2 for this episode. A double win. What a race that was, and a very, very tough one. That was pushing to the absolute limit there. Really was trying to extract the maximum from the bike there. But as you can see, we take him the fastest lap and the W as we win another race. And Tate only gets 3rd place. So that's good news for us in the championship. And I think we're going to overtake, if not equal points with Onku, I think. And yes, we do. We are equal, but we take 2nd place based off of the amount of wins we've had this season. However, we are still 16 points behind Tate with 1 race left to go. So it's going to be a challenge to win this. I need Tate to have a bit of a tricky race, to be honest with you, but we'll see how it goes. Overall though, I'm not disappointed. We had a good race and a well-deserved 25 points for us. But in terms of our rider reputation now, if we look at after that race and after this episode, we've now got ourselves up to level 46, so not too shabby, with the brakes management looking like the best ability joint with lean angle. Those two are neck and neck, but overall it's looking very good, guys, and hopefully you have enjoyed this episode of my MotoGP rider career mode. If you have, then please do slap a like on the video. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, guys. And you know what? We want to do races. If that doesn't deserve 150 likes at least, then what does, you know? But anyway, subscribe to the channel, guys. Turn on notifications to not miss a single upload from me. And finally, do check out these 2 videos on screen if you have missed them by chance. But other than that, thanks for watching. Let's see my next video tomorrow. Goodbye.